welcome to Season 3, Episode 52 of One Man's Opinion. Today I am reviewing Ivyton Playhouse's production of Million Dollar Quartet Christmas, with book by Colin Escott, directed by Katie Barton, and running through December 17th at the Playhouse at 103 Main Street, Ivyton, Connecticut. While listening and or watching this review, you find yourself enjoying it, or thinking that my comments are insightful and enlightening, I invite you to come and visit my Patreon page where you can help support my show for as little as $1 a month. I appreciate everyone who has continued to support my show, and I welcome everyone who is considering joining. I'll leave a link to my Patreon page in the description. I suspect that there are going to be two camps regarding Million Dollar Quartet Christmas. The first is those who are seeing it advertised and thinking, wait, wasn't the whole premise of the first Million Dollar Quartet that it was about the one time Elvis Presley, Jerry Lee Lewis, Carl Perkins, and Johnny Cash came together at Sun Records and jammed for a few hours? How can there be a second show? Then there is the second camp, who are going to come in and just enjoy the show for what it is. A fun hour and a half of mostly Christmas songs performed in honor of four of the most important and influential musicians of the last 75 years. Well, the thing is, this show is essentially a rework of the original in order to accommodate the reality that these people did only come together once. So throw out the first story completely. This is a totally different reimagining of what happened when the four came together. In the original version, there's a conflict as Sun Records owner Sam Phillips, here played by Ben Hope, is trying to re-sign Johnny Cash, here played by Scott Moreau, though he has already signed with Columbia Records. Carl Perkins, here played by Sam Sherwood, is dealing with his career fading, especially after Elvis Presley, played by Daniel Durston, has made a hit of his song Blue Suede Shoes. Jerry Lee Lewis, played by J.P. Coletta, meanwhile rubs the other guys the wrong way with his antics as the new upstart artist. In this version, conflict is less present, as it is more about the quartet of artists celebrating Christmas, telling stories of family traditions. Cash and Presley have already left Sun Records here. Elvis is also having problems with the Colonel Tom Parker and is trying to avoid him. The fact is, this show is chock full of anachronisms. For one, it is set on December 4th, 1956, which is the date the four men met. But Johnny Cash didn't sign with Columbia until 1958. Part of the story is that Elvis is letting everyone know that he's been drafted into the Army, which didn't happen until 1958 either. Some of the songs they sing, like Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree and Jingle Bell Rock, weren't released until after 1956, and like the original Million Dollar Quartet, the songs they perform are mostly not what they really performed the day they came together and recorded. But if you're willing to accept that Million Dollar Quartet Christmas is not intended to be about historical accuracy, but about having an enjoyable evening celebrating the four musicians singing Christmas classics, then you're going to have a wonderful time. The great thing is that regardless of whether you're willing to accept the show's concept, Ivyton has presented a really enjoyable show. Coletta, Durston, Moreau, and Sherwood are all excellent and bring a natural charisma to their performances. Margaret Didasic brings a much-needed feminine presence as Elvis's girlfriend Diane, joining in on some of the songs and taking the lead on a few, most notably Santa Baby. It was only a few years ago Ivyton Playhouse did a production of the original Million Dollar Quartet, and it seems the set designed by Martin Scott Marchitto is the previous set being reused, which I'm fine with. It works, and in a time when regional theaters are needing to find ways to save money, having a set being reused is totally understandable, and I endorse the decision. So if you're in a mood to celebrate Christmas with some classic songs performed by a great cast, Ivyton Playhouse's Million Dollar Quartet is going to be a delightful time if you're willing to overlook the number of historical inaccuracies. So I encourage you to take your family and have a great time. But I am only one man's opinion, so be sure to leave yours in the comments below. If you'd like to see Million Dollar Quartet Christmas, I'll leave a link in the description. There will also be a link to my Patreon page in the description as well. You can also support my channel by liking, sharing, and subscribing, and click the notification bell to be alerted to future reviews. My next review will be the Broadway revival of Spamalot. Thank you for watching, and I will see you at the theater.